Hey everybody, we're back in Stormworks, and I made a smaller project because my big project was crashing everything. So this is just a rocket boat with a GPS setup. I think you'll like it. What we're going to do is show off some speed here. You can see our speed. So we can cruise along at around 200 meters a second, which isn't too shabby for a boat like this, but the big point here is that this boat is steerable even at 200 meters a second, which is pretty rare. More than that, however, it is something where we've got this beautiful map, and we can zoom in, and we can zoom out. We can move the map around, and we can choose where we want to go. This is a great system if you want to go explore off somewhere, but don't want to actually pilot the ship yourself. It works on any vehicle. You don't have to put it just in this vehicle. I've included this vehicle because it's a nice, easy build and it's kind of fun. But if you are interested in having this autopilot on a plane or whatever, all you need is to give it rudder control and it works fine. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But if you're just interested in having a nice, fast rocket boat, then this is the rocket boat in question, at least until they fix the jet engines. Because once they patch the jet engines out, we'll have a new kind of problem. But until then, this works great. It's very fast. You can, in fact, make this far too fast, as you can see there in the lower left. Problem with going above about 300 meters a second on water is that the tiny perturbances in the water will cause you to have a tremendous amount of problem. But I've tried to limit it so that it'll go about 300 and then not go too outstanding, not too erratic. The problem is that if we try and turn at this speed, it can flake out. And then, of course, we can end up dying because, you know, it's way too fast. We died before I could reset us. What a shame. Well, let's wake up. Come on, wake up. Grab that boat, and I'll show you how it works on the inside. If you're not interested in knowing how it works on the inside or setting up your own, that's all you needed to know. You can go grab this boat and play around with it all you'd like. It works fine so long as you don't turn on way too fast mode. So there are two chips that we're using. We're using this map coordinate chooser and this autopilot. The autopilot takes in your current GPS coordinates as well as target GPS coordinates, and it outputs a rudder, so you know which way to turn. If you find that you're turning backwards, you can always set your aggressiveness to a negative number or turn your rudders around. It does take quite a few input arguments, and it's easy to accidentally set them up wrong if you're not paying enough attention. But one of the things that's nice about this is that it takes a video in and a video out. So if you're not sure what's going on, you can hook this up to a video chain, and it will put words on a video monitor where you can see what it thinks it's doing and what, you know, you think it's doing. And if they don't line up, they don't line up. The other thing in question is the map coordinate chooser. The map coordinate chooser is obviously primarily a video device, and you're going to need to make sure that the video device comes right back into the map coordinate chooser. But it does have a couple of arguments. It takes GPS in so that it knows where the ship is, and then it outputs a target, a destination. It always outputs the target, even if the target is not currently active. So that means that in order to make sure that you don't always autopilot even when you don't want to, you're going to want to make sure that this activate waypoint is in control of your rudders. So if your rudder, if this is true, then your rudders should be under the control of the autopilot. And otherwise, if it's false, it shouldn't, because this autopilot has no on-off in the chip. You're going to have this turn vector be controlled locally, which is what this is for. It's not too difficult to set up. It's pretty basic. One of the neat little tools you can use is this override waypoint. If you are setting up a comms system, you can have it so that the X and Y GPS inputs can be overridden. You can just make them whatever you want. And then you can tag this override waypoint, and it will set those as the waypoint, the target X and the target Y. That's really useful if you need to transmit coordinates over a radio signal. It doesn't require you to have more complicated chips, you can just set this system up and it'll work fine. You'll have to set up the part where you do the transmitting on your own, and it will crash your game. Great, right? How much fun. So just so you know what the chips look like, just go ahead and hit this button here. It is Map XY, the coord chooser, and GPS Autopilot for the Autopilot. And you can download the ship and the chips all on their own as you see fit. Pretty simple, fun little toy to make sure I don't have a sour taste in my mouth from failing my last project. Have a good one.